Hello, hello. In this video, we will tackle a hot topic in the GLP-1 community. And that hot topic is taking a GLP-1 medication taking the easy way out? Do you think it is? Well, we are going to talk about that. Join me and some of my GLP-1 community friends as we talk about it. Please feel free to chime in and leave a comment. Let us know what you think. Now let's talk about it. That's where your fortitude, that's where your persistence, that's where your dedication, that's when your motivation kicks in because you have to decide, am I just going to rely on the GLP-1 or am I going to reach deep down within? So a lot of times I've had to reach deep down within because I didn't want to titrate up. And I had to, muster everything up I could to hang on till I got to that next injection as far as my appetite. And when, the higher up in dose you get, I could see that you don't have to do that as much. But I personally am trying to titrate up slow. But that just, none of this really is kind of representative of what I'm doing with the GLP-1. So I think somebody looking at this is just going to think that, we're just out here, just, taking a pill, taking a shot, and just, living easy breezy. And there's nothing easy breezy about what I'm doing. Now, does it suppress my appetite? Yes. Does it stay suppressed until I get my next injection? No. On my experience, I really haven't had that where my appetite is totally suppressed. People will say, I just could not eat. Now, there are times that I got so busy and just doing other things that I wasn't thinking about food and I had to remind myself to eat, but I could eat. Right, I still could eat. Somebody was saying, is taking a GLP-1 taking the easy way out? What do you guys think? Were you against the GLP-1 medications before you started taking it? And if so, why? And do you get offended when someone says, I lost weight naturally? Does that offend anyone when you see or hear that? And do you feel supported by the natural weight loss community? So do you feel like people are looking down on you because you chose to go the GLP-1 route? In the chat, I'm looking to hear that. So let's go and see what people are saying. My feed has hardly any GLP-1 videos. I've always been into holistic medicine, so mine always has that kind of stuff in it. But I have noticed an uptick in the nature or natural GLP-1s. Kim J, to me, it seems people started saying natural since the gastric sleeve surgeries ramped up, and even more since GLP-1s, etc. It has been a thing. I've never really noticed it or seen that. I just haven't before now. And I know that gastric bypass and all that was a thing, but that was so long ago. I really wasn't on YouTube as much either as I am now. So that could also be Kim. Agreed, Kim. It has its moments and it's back now. Kim says they're jealous. Do you guys think that's what it is? Do you think people are jealous because the weight seemingly comes off faster? Now, I did look up who loses the most weight. So what do you guys think? I wish I could do a poll on here. Do you guys think that the GLP-1 community loses the most weight, or do you think it is the natural weight loss community that loses the most weight? What do you guys think? Okay, so I'm going to go back up and finish the comments. Delilah said, I used to get so many comments that I should start meds when I was doing it on my own. Now they want me to stop. Because they probably knew, those meds weren't going to work because these meds are kind of the best meds that they've had out, right? Before this, those meds were fine for a little while. And then I feel like all of a sudden people would start to get sick or have heart attacks or pass out or, it was some reason they found that they shouldn't be using them. And so that's probably why, because they knew they were just temporary. We work for our laws, period. Yeah, we do. When they say that they're doing it the natural way, I think they're just buttering us who is using meds. Either way, we all have to work hard at dropping the pounds with or without the med. Yes, but that, Carrie Ann, that's the stereotype that's out there that we aren't working, that we aren't working. And some people are not, right? There's never an all or nothing. Some people are not changing their lifestyle. Some people are not counting calories. Some people are not, measuring things, changing their food portions, or maybe they are changing the portions and that's probably it. But some people aren't doing all those things. They just try to belittle us who need assistance or just plain jealousy. Yeah, Kim thinks it's jealousy too. I feel like the natural weight loss is looked at as superior than weight loss surgery, than everything else, than medication. Like, how are we looked at so poorly? It's almost like weight loss is kind of like a morality issue, right? Something's wrong with you if you're overweight. Some people do have traumas that have caused them to be overweight. And some people just like to eat and overindulge. And I always say everyone has their vice. And I guess if you're overeating, I know that used to be mine, overeating. And still to this day, I have to make sure I control that, making sure I choose smaller portions instead of the bigger portions. If I'm going to eat something that's not in my plan, I'll eat half of it instead of the whole thing. So those little changes, I wish I was doing that before the medication, but the medication has taught me to do that. People say negative things when they aren't knowledgeable and don't try to be educated before making claims. It doesn't help when the medical professionals give their negative personal preferences. That is so true. That is so true. So if you have a doctor out there that is supporting your GLP-1 journey, I mean, good for them. Maybe you want to go back to them and say, thank you, thank you, thank you, because I'm hearing a lot of stories of people who aren't feeling that way with their doctors. Carrie Ann, I do not believe there is a lot of information that does cause the hate for sure. Yes, it does. It does. The stereotype is out there. It's like a magic pill. You take it and you don't really do anything. And I want to say, like, they need to watch all of our videos because we're talking about bumps in the road. Carrie Ann said, we work so hard to hold it together, meaning making better food choices and getting our bodies moving. Yes. And that, even like getting to work out with such a, on a regular basis and some consistency with the program was so hard for me. I was doing little things here and there. And I know they say all that counts. I wasn't counting it, right? Because I was thinking, I'm not doing a program, or I don't have structure, or I'm just doing little things here and there. But really, that stuff does add up. Delilah says, I watched the OBGYN earlier. They said, I don't prescribe. Oh, let's see if these glasses might help me. I don't prescribe on my beliefs. I prescribe on facts and data. All right, very good. Facts and data. Okay, I love that. Don't forget to press the like button. Yes, thank you. Same with Mel. Says hit that like button. Thank you. Don't forget to hit the like button. I always forget to say that. Thank you, ladies. It doesn't bother me at all. Them being proud of how they lost weight doesn't change me being proud of my journey. Yes, and that's key. The problem is, Taisha, is that some people aren't just being proud of theirs. They're knocking what other people are doing, because I'm clicking on those videos and I'm watching and enjoying it. And then I get to that part where they're bashing the GLP-1 community. And that's what I don't like. So I said, are we beefing? Are we beefing and I didn't know about it? Why is it a them against? I feel like there's like a them against us kind of mentality for some reason. And it should not be, because we all are doing things to. That is a word, Taisha says, Mel. And Mel says, hi to Jill. GLP-1 group, yes. I feel like, Taisha, if they left it at that, that would be fine. But to bash what we're doing, there's no need for that. That's the problem. GLP-1 group. Okay, so everybody's thinking, a lot of people are thinking the GLP-1 group lost the most weight. I agree, Taisha, and I'm so proud of them too, regardless of how they are. Yes, but you know what? We've all lost weight before, so we've all lost weight the natural way too, and we know how hard that is. We know how devoted you have to be, how dedicated. You need a schedule. You have to be consistent. Really, being consistent is the number one thing you need in anything you do in life. If you're going to be successful, you got to be consistent with whatever you're being successful at.